there will come a point on your journey that you'll realize that tolerance is not a good thing. Tolerance was invented by the negative, evil beings that control this world to let negative, evil behavior perpetuate on this planet. It's an inversion, because that's what they love to do. They love to take what is good, what is pure, and then they invert it into something perverted. So what is tolerance the perversion of? It's the perversion of compassion. Compassion and empathy is a human emotion that is so beautiful. It's one that allows us to feel what it would be like in someone else's shoes in terms of their pain, and we know that that would be painful if we were to experience it, so therefore we would never do it. There is an action element in that too, you see. But tolerance is not compassion. Tolerance is basically condoning and allowing all forms of evil behavior simply because on the premise that people are just different. They should just be allowed to do what they want to do. But we all know that that's not right. That is moral relativism. And that's why the evil perpetuates. That's why over the last couple of years, those of us that are good, that are on the conscious path, were ridiculed and condemned and banished over the last few years with this whole thing. And what is us being tolerant? What good has that brought? None. That's why tolerance isn't evil. It's the same with the whole thing about being nice. Actually, the etymology of the word nice actually means to be stupid. Which sounds about right. So it is these aspects of social, cultural norms that you are to position yourself as so that people can be accepted in society. So it all goes back to social conditioning, cultural programming. It's in everything, because we are so influenced by our environment. And what is our biggest influence in our environment? Other people. Other people. And so if you are sleepwalking through life, you will just latch on to what all other people are doing. That's why when you actually embark on the conscious growth path and you actually live with authenticity, not think about it, right? I'm not talking about just thinking about it and being in the know. I mean, you're actually living authentically. That's why that path becomes so secluded, because all of society is the trap. All of society is the psyop. So very few people are willing to exit that, of the fear of being rejected, how will other people view them and all that stuff, because their social program is so deeply still rooted within them. They haven't done the shadow work. So tolerance becomes this just, it's a complete no if you're on the conscious evolution journey. Tolerance is zero tolerated, as in we do not tolerate ignorance, willful stupidity. Okay? And a lot of times, a lot of people, they just suck. They are just walking around willfully ignorant and willfully stupid and willfully evil and selfish. And sometimes what they need is that wake-up call of you saying it like it is to their face. Or simply just not allowing their behavior in front of you and, disengaging, loving detachment, right? So tolerance isn't evil. It's not a good thing. Compassion is something completely different. Because compassion means we would never do any bad onto anyone. That's the thing. Tolerance is to tolerate all of it. Because, no difference between good and bad, right? No difference between good and evil. No difference between positive and negative. Wrong. That's very much a big difference. And it's the rulers of this world that want people to believe that there is no difference. And that's just the way that life is. And social programming has perfected that, that people believe it so much, and just all you do is walk around like, oh, I've been hiking so much these last days. The mountains were calling me, because I seek solace in the mountains. You will always get your solace in the mountains, because sometimes people, large groups of people, it's just too much. The energy is it's just so self-indulgent, and everyone's just trying to, they're just so in it. It's literally sleepwalking through life. That's the only way to explain it. And the tolerance needs to stop. So those of you that are on the conscious evolution journey and actually living with that authenticity and integrity, we ain't got that much time, for this stuff. Time is running out. That's what it means to actually live with authenticity, is to be real. Be real with these people. They need it the most. They need it the most. And you may just be the wake-up call they needed if they happen to have passed you on the street and you give it to them like it is. Sometimes all it takes is just to look, or one conversation, or simply, even if it's somebody super close to you, stop tolerating bullshit. Stop tolerating their bullshit. Serve justice in the moment. That is the way a conscious society lives. We serve justice in the moment. There was a woman walking past me today. The universe always gives me signs by people speaking around me and stuff. And she was on the phone hysterically crying. And she was like, I can't do this anymore. You are sick and you need to get help. And she was crying and what have you. Now, she in that moment was setting a boundary, and perhaps, just perhaps, her being truthful, raw and honest in that moment is finally what's going to spring whoever she was speaking to into action to finally change. That's her giving that justice. Whereas who knows how long she was enabling the abusive behavior and so on. And that's what we have in the world, is the satanic leaders of this world are the abusers, and all of society are the codependents. Okay? So no, we don't tolerate, because tolerate is to become that codependent. Tolerate is to become submissive. Tolerate is to be numb and go through life as a literal sleepwalking slave. You're not here to do that. You're here to awaken, to carry the torch, and awaken others as you do so. Education matters, education first. Be the example. Live with your principles, live with your values, and show it to the world.